then it's going to flow into your stones.
Oh, I
So
see.
that's, or move your truck out of here so I can move over. That's why I kind of went on an angle.
Oh, okay.
So this way it shouldn't go in there.
No, move the truck.
Oh, okay. Then do you want this bag on?
No, leave there. Yeah, that should be good. Yeah.
Okay, here's 3 yards of soil about to be dropped on my driveway. Well, just to give you a little background, I've had a lot of vole damage in my backyard. Now, if you don't know what a vole is, it's like a mouse that looks like he's in the military. So, in order to fix it, I've ordered this 3 yards of soil here. And I picked up this lovely 25 kilogram bag of grass seed from Canadian Tire for 85 bucks, which I thought was a pretty good deal for a 25 kg bag. Alright, here's my utensils for this repair of my backyard. Got a couple of rakes, got an older shovel, scoop for the seed, and here we have a water sprinkler, which I'll need afterwards. My first plan of attack in this vole chewed yard was I'm going to pack down some soil. Not really hard, but I'm going to pack it down. And at first I watered it. I gave it some moisturized it a little bit, as you can see along the fence. And now I'm going to bring some soil in, pack it down, and then I'm going to put the seeded soil on top of that. There's a bit of a depression right here in the grass, so I'm going to build it up with soil first. Probably hard to see on the camera. What I want to do is pack her down because it's a build-up situation here, so because of that it needs to be packed down. Give it a good base. Just going to continue along with that, same idea. Okay, the part that needed to be built up, I packed it down pretty good. And then it led to an area where it really didn't need packing. So I just loosely sprinkled the ground, or I just loosely sprinkled the topsoil, and what I'm going to do next is add a little more topsoil and seed these areas here. And it's going to be an overseeding situation. Just mixing it in a wheelbarrow. Should come around pretty good. Okay, all the white specks, those are seeds. So far I've got this much seeded. It's relatively flat. It's going to pack down a little on its own. It compresses over time, so you want to put it up a little higher if you want it at the same level as any brickwork. But right here you have what I would consider to be the finished product. You just have to keep it very wet all the time. Not really wet, I mean you have to keep it moist all the time. There has to be an element of moisture in the soil to make the grass seed grow. And over here I've been mixing two and a half cups, that size, 2/3 of that wheelbarrow, and that cup I just showed you, with two and a half cups, which is a lot. That is overseeding, but that's what I wanted to do. That's why I bought such a large bag of seed. Well, I'm almost finished here. I thought I'd just let you know how I do the seeding of it. I usually mix soil and seed together before I put it onto the ground. I've finished the 3 yards that were in the front of the house. The 3 yards in the front of the house are pretty much spread out around here with seed inside of them. So I'm going to show you how I seeded it right now. Okay, I've got about 10 scoopfuls of general purpose soil here, and one, two, and a half large cups. They're 3.5 cups each. So that's probably about 8, 9 cups. And I mix it up with a pitchfork. Oh, this is overseeding, mind you. Up nice and good. Pitchforks work the best. They're even better than rakes. Rake it around a little. Make sure you get it everywhere. Get some nice white specks everywhere, and then you know you're covered. Alright, here we have the finished product. You can see the seed on top. I'm hoping this is gonna catch. You gotta keep it damp for at least a couple of weeks. Yeah, the 3 yards of soil is gone now. You can see the truck is back where it was before. The soil was just a mess on the driveway. Alright, I'm 1 week into this grass replacement. And here's what we got. It's coming up pretty nicely. It's been very warm, so I've had to water a lot, but now it's turned a little cooler, which is good growing conditions. Still a little patchy, but it's only been 1 week. Usually takes 2 to 3 weeks for everything to come up, if it's good growing conditions. There was absolutely no grass here before. Nothing to speak of for sure. Now, we got a little something something going on here. We're exactly 14 days in on this growth. It's actually been very good. Sometimes it takes upwards of a month for seed to germinate like this. It's worked very well. Just the right time of year, I guess. Still quite a few patches, but that's to be expected when you're talking about half the lawn. Give it another week or two. Look how thick it is. Very thick. It's coming very nicely. So this is the lawn 13 days after I seeded it. Now it's definitely patchy. I mowed it yesterday just because the mosquitoes were getting crazy out here. But there's a lot of patches left, but it certainly looks a lot better. And when I do go to fix these patches, they might fix themselves. That's what I'm hoping for. They might grow in. So I want to give it a couple more weeks. But if it doesn't, I'm probably just going to reseed these areas. I do have leftover seed, so it'll be exactly the same color. And yeah. The thing I've been most impressed with is the way that this overseeding has choked out the weeds. This yard used to be completely covered in weeds, and just within the last 2 weeks, because of the amount of grass seed that I've planted, I have very few weeds in the lawn. Now right there is a dandelion, but that's the only one. I used to have the whole yard almost full of dandelions. So even if it's not totally filled in yet, it still is beneficial to me because I just don't have to have the weeds to deal with. Well, here we are on the lawn. This is day 23 and it's second mow. Basically, all that's been done since planted is watering. Still patchy, but very thick. I think it's gonna grow in nicely. It's been excellent since it grew longer because it can retain moisture a lot better than it did earlier. I don't have to water it near as often. Still holding out. There's the big patch right in the middle there. It's been segmented with the growth down the center. And over here we got a fairly major patch. Okay, now we have 32 days since I first installed this grass. Again, it's not perfect, but coming from where it was, this is a dramatic change. I had a backyard that was completely filled with weeds before I did this 1 month ago. I'll have a few patches to fix up probably, but every week it seems to fill in even more. So I'm not in any hurry to do any more work. I'm just gonna let it do it on its own. Grass has a tendency to fix itself during a good growing season. So this is 62 days after I put this lawn in. Check it out. Still got some small patches, but it's really turned around. Hardly any weeds. I used to pick weeds for 20 minutes before I could even start mowing the lawn. But now, not a weed in the entire lawn.